Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40098 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy, but I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
I don't see how it could be busy all the time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Preview. Preview. Preview.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello, George?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Who's this? What number am I calling, please?
We have heard from a client. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Yes, sir.
Where are you now?
In the phone booth.
Okay, you know the address. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on the 2nd Avenue for a beer. Be sure that all the lights downstairs are out. There should be only one light visible from the street. At 11:15, a subway train crosses through the bridge. It makes a noise in case her window is open and she should scream.
Oh, hello! What number is this, please?
Okay, I understand.
Make it quick, as little blood as possible. Our client does not wish to make her suffer long.
A knife? Okay, sir.
Yes, a knife will be okay. And remember, remove the rings and bracelets and the jewelry in the bureau drawer. Our client wishes it to look like simple robbery.
Oh, how awful! How unspeakably awful!
Your call, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry, madam. What number were you calling?
Why? It was supposed to be Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. Some wires must have crossed. I was caught into a wrong number, and I've just heard the most dreadful thing. A, a murder, and operator, you'll simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon, madam. I don't quit.
Oh, I know it was a wrong number and I had no business listening. But these two men, they were cold-blooded friends. Some poor innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge. And we've got to stop them. We've got to.
What number were you calling, madam?
That doesn't matter. This was a wrong number and you dialed it. And we've got to find out what it was. Immediately.
But, madam,
Oh, why are you so stupid? Look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of the finger. I told you to try Murray Hill 40098 for me. You dialed it, but your fingers must have slipped. And I was connected with some other number, and I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again on purpose. Why you couldn't try to dial Murray Hill 40098 in the same careless sort of way.
Murray Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you, madam.
Well, thank you.
I am sorry. Murray Hill 40098 is busy.
Operator! Operator!
Yes, madam.
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I am sorry. What number were you calling?
Can't you for once forget what number I was calling and do something specific? Now I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty. It's your civic duty to trace that call and to apprehend those dangerous killers, and if you won't...
I will connect you with the chief operator.
Preview.
This is the chief operator.
Chief Operator? I want you to trace a call. A telephone call immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder. Yes, a terrible cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
I see.
Depends on what?
It depends on whether the call is still going on. If it's a live call, we can't trace it on the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can.
Disconnected?
If the parties stop talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago, and they didn't sound like the type who would make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it. Now, what is your name, madam?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson. But listen,
And your telephone number?
Plaza 42295. But if you go on wasting all this time,
And what is your reason for wanting this call traced?
my reason? Well, for heaven's sake, isn't it obvious? I overheard two men. They're killers. They're planning to murder this woman. It's a matter for the police.
Have you told the police?
No. How could I?
You're making this check into a private call, purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile.
Well, Mrs. Stevenson, I seriously doubt whether we could make this check for you at this time, just on your say-so as a private individual. We'd have to have something more official.
Oh, for heaven's sake, you mean to tell me I can't report the murder without getting tied up with all this red tape? Why? It's perfectly idiotic. Alright then, I'll call the police. Why is everybody so stupid? Ridiculous.
Your call, please.
The police department. Please.
Ringing the police department.
Police Department. Present 43. Duffy speaking.
Police department? Oh, this is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smythe Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling to report a murder.
Eh?
I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet. I just overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is so stupid. And I guess, in the end, you're the only people who could do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I overheard their plans distinctly. Two men were talking and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue. And there was some third man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. And they were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully and I'm not well.
And what is your name, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Oh, then you can do something. You do understand.
And what is your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge. The Queensboro Bridge, you know. And we have a private patrolman on our street. And 2nd Avenue.
And what was that number you're calling?
Murray Hill 40098. But that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 4098 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I am an invalid, you know, and It's the maid's night off and I hate to be alone, even though he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't check the call if the party said stop talking. I've taken care of that.
Oh, yes?
Personally, I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call. What good does checking the call do if they've stopped talking? By the time you track it down, they'll already have committed the murder.
Well, we'll take care of it, lady. Don't worry.
I'd say the whole thing calls for a search, a complete and thorough search of the whole city. I'm very near a bridge and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder is going to be committed in a neighborhood, ma'am?
Oh, I don't know. This coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
2nd Avenue is a long street, ma'am. And do you happen to know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone? Not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and the Bronx. And how do you know there isn't some little house out on Staten Island? On some little 2nd Avenue you've never heard about? How do you know they were even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
How do you know it wasn't a long distance call you overhead? Telephones are fun things. Look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broke in on that telephone call? Supposing you'd got your husband that way you always do? Would this murder have made any difference to you then?
I suppose not, but it's so inhumane, so cold-blooded.
A lot of murders are committed in the city every day, ma'am. If we could do something to stop them, we would. But a clue of this kind that's so vague isn't much more use to us than no clue at all.
But surely...
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call is phony, and that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm all alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid Eloise. She's a big 2-pounder. And she's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray. And the only other person is my husband Albert. He is crazy about me, adores me, waits on me hand and foot. He's scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Well, then, there's nothing for you to worry about, is there? And now, if you just leave the rest to us,
But wait, what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 o'clock.
we'll take care of it, lady.
Will you broadcast it all over the city and send out squads and warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like...
Lady, I said, we'll take care of it. Just now, I've got a couple of other matters here on my desk that require my immediate...
Oh, idiot. Now why did I do that? Now he'll think I am a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he?
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 40098 again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098. The line is busy. Shall I?
If I could only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could get a breath of fresh air, or just lean out of the window and see the street.
Preview. Preview.
Hello? Albert? Hello? Hello, hello. Oh,
Preview.
what's wrong with this phone? Hello? 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 Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Your call, please.
Hello? Operator, I don't know what's the matter with this phone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient and miserable service. Now, look, I am an invalid and I am very nervous and I'm not supposed to be annoyed. But if this keeps on much longer,
What seems to be the trouble, madam?
well, everything's wrong. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care, and now my phone keeps ringing.
Yes, madam.
Ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds or so, and when I pick it up, there's no one there.
I am sorry, madam. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put through that call. Whatever it is,
I am afraid that is not possible, madam.
not possible? And why, may I ask?
The system is automatic, madam. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check whether the call is coming through the system or not, unless the person who is trying to reach you complains to his particular operator.
Well, of all the stupid, complicated, and meanwhile I've got to sit here in my bed, suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check it for you, madam.
Check it! That's all anybody can do. Of all the stupid, idiotic. Hello? Hello? Stop ringing! Do you hear me? Answer me! What do you want? You realize you're driving me crazy? Sir.
Hello, is this Plaza 42295?
Yes, this is Plaza 42295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Mrs. Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I am Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Albert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York. New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston, 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Albert.
Oh no.
That is all, madam. Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
No, it isn't true. He couldn't do it. No, not when he knows I'll be all alone. It's some strict, some Fendi-ish.
Your call, please.
Operator, try that Murray Hill 4098 number for me just once more, please.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Preview. Preview.
He's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? But I can't be alone tonight. I can't. If I'm alone one more second, I don't care what he says or what expense is. I am a sick woman. I am entitled.
Preview.
This is information.
I want the telephone number of Hanchley Hospital.
Hanchley Hospital. Do you have the address, madam?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s, though. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Hanchley. Henc.
One moment, please.
Please, hurry. And please, what is the time?
I don't know, madam. You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, couldn't you?
The number of Finchley Hospital is Butterfield 70105, madam.
Butterfield 70105.
Hanchley Hospital, good evening.
Nurses Registry.
Who was it you wish to speak to, please?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous and I need soothing and companionship. My husband is away and I...
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I really don't see why all this catechizing is necessary. I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person.
We quite understand that, madam, but registered nurses are very scarce just now, and our superintendent has asked us to send people out on only cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset, very. I'm alone in this house and I am an invalid and tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully about a murder, a poor woman who was going to be murdered at 11:15 tonight. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips. And when do you expect her in?
I really don't know, madam. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. My clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just 14 minutes past 11.
What's that?
What was that, madam?
That clicked just now. In my own telephone? As though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook of the extension phone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this...
But I did. There's someone in this house, someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. They're...
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I cannot hear you, madam. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
Your call, please. What number are you calling, madam?
You've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house. Someone is going to murder me, and you've got to get in touch with the... Oh, there it is. He's put it down. He's put down the extension. He's coming. Help. He's coming up the stairs. Give me the police department. The police.
Ringing the police department.
Police Department. Present 43. Duffy speaking. Police Department. Duffy speaking.
Sorry, wrong.